Aloha mai kako. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today on our Infinite Love Prayer Circle. I am excited about today, and especially because we are here honoring Lahaina. I am wearing the color pink for Maui. Each of our Hawaiian islands has a flower and a color specific to that island, and this one is in honor of the pink rose, the Lokelani blossom. And I'm wearing my kukui nut lei for enlightenment because today is a very special day on this 888 Lionsgate portal. And so thank you so much for being with us today. And I'm really excited for the sharing and for my guests who are here today with me. While we throughout this prayer circle, feel free to enter into the chat names of your loved ones, and let me share. Okay, let me go back here. Go back to sharing my screen again. All right. Okay, so yes, please feel free to type the names of your loved ones in the chat to be placed in our blessing bowl of light at the end of our prayer circle today. And you may want to have a glass of water. We're going to be charging our water. We're going to be blessing our water. And we're going to be speaking to our water to bless it. And if you want to have, if you have a lighted candle, that would be wonderful. Okay. So I'm going to begin with an oli, a prayer, an oli to bless our water. And then I'm going to be sharing a pule, a prayer for our prayer circle for Lahaina. And today I have Emma Kupu Mitchell, who's a shamanic astrologer and a numerologist and a spiritual and creative guide for women in midlife. And she will decode the energies of the sacred 888 Lionsgate threshold and the solar gateway and share the importance of the Fixed Star Sirius. Also with us today is Janet Connor, prayer artist, mystic witch, and firekeeper, and co-creator of the Witch Sequence. Janet is going to take us on a journey into a fascinating discovery about labyrinths. She will lead us in sacred ceremony, and together we will walk the Lahaina dead home. Then I will guide us at the end. I will guide us as we place the names of our loved ones into the blessing bowl of light. I will guide us in Ho'oponopono, and then we'll have a few minutes to speak the names of our loved ones, anyone in need of prayer, any situations in need of prayer, into the blessing bowl of light. So let us begin with our blessed water, blessing our water. Okay. So I invite you to hold your water while we bless it, while I recite this oli ekane. Ekane, kane, kane, kawaiola. He kau kaula ke ia o e. E lono nui no hui ka vai. Ho o kupu. Ho eu. Ho inana i ke ola. E a ka vai la he vai ola. E ola hoi. E homai he au la. E o la hoi. Eli eli kapu. Eli eli noa. O Kane of the life-giving waters, this is an appeal to you for life. O great Lono residing in the water, urge growth, animate life. Here is the water of life. Thrive. Grant us clouds, clouds from which life comes. Thrive. Profound was the kapu, profound is its release. Now just take a moment to bless your water and speak words of love, joy, radiant health, and abundance into your water. E inu I kawai, let us drink our blessed water. So this is our 12th prayer circle since the beginning of September 2023, after the Lahaina fires. And since then, the banyan tree remains a symbol of hope and faith. And today we focus on the hope for the restoration of Lahaina and the community, that the community can grow together again. This banyan tree is a symbol of hope for Maui, the residents of Maui, to rebuild their lives and find peace. This banyan tree is also a living prayer that is nourished by unwavering faith. She is a teacher reminding us, no matter how painful the situation may be, that we too can draw strength and resilience from deep within us. She also reminds us to keep our hearts open, to allow grace allow grace in, to receive help and support when we need it. As she received help from the arborists who nourished her roots. And this banyan tree is a miracle, because I believe miracles are born out of love. So e pule kako, let us pray. Mahalo ke akua. We are ever so grateful for the blessings sprouting forth, giving life to the seeds that we have planted over the past 12 months since we began gathering in prayer. Today, we honor the new life being birthed amidst the remembrance of those we lost in the Lahaina fires on August 8th, 2023. May we never forget the families who lost their homes. May they receive guidance, support, resources, and financial assistance to rebuild their lives in Lahaina. May grace illuminate the darkest corners of our collective hearts and minds. May this divine light restore our hope and renew our faith, guiding us on a path of healing and transformation as we co-create a new earth consciousness. May our actions be infused with kindness and our words offer comfort and support. And as we move forward, may we be reminded that each act of love and each moment of forgiveness contributes to a brighter, more compassionate world for all of us. Mahalo kia kua, amamaua noa, alele aku no, amen. So this is a reminder to me also what's most important in these days, and as we face surprises ahead, that we continue to malama pono, malama your pono. Malama means to care for, to take care of, and pono means in harmony, in balance. It means integrity. It means the right way, the correct way. And so when you malama pono, that really means, you know, we say malama pono to one another here when we say goodbye to one another, and we say malama pono, take care. But it also means malama your pono, take care of your pono, which means respect yourself. Take care of yourself. What self-care can you do for yourself every day? The more and more we can focus on our own self-care, the more Mama Gaia, Mother Earth, Papahana Moku, the more that she can also be thriving. And so at this time, I think it's most appropriate now that I invite my dear Kahu sister, Emma Kupu Mitchell. She is a spiritual and creative guide for women in midlife. She blends and interweaves many healing practices as a creativity coach. She's a shamanic astrologer, a depth numerologist, a sound healer, and a clinical aromatherapist. Aloha, sister. Aloha, Emma.
Aloha. Thank you, Lahela. Thank you for each month offering this beautiful opportunity to come together, right, in community. And I know it started off as the prayer circle for Lahaina, but it's kind of grown into something bigger as we see the chaos evolve throughout the world, right? So I just wanted to say mahalo nui to you and Geraldine, your beautiful wife, for always being here each month, and to everybody showing up today. And thank you for the opportunity. So yeah, I mean, let's just kind of ground ourselves into today. Even I missed it when I was sending you the slides ahead, Lahela, didn't I? I was like, well, 8-8, let's begin with the day, you know, welcoming the day or the evening, depending where you are in the world or when you're listening. And I studied Pythagorean numerology for about 10 years with a teacher called Ruth Dray. I want to honor her. She transitioned a few years ago to the other side. But the Pythagorean lineage, he is somebody I would have tea with, because as a master teacher and the lineage of his mystery school, he believed that everything in the universe is in relationship to vibration and energy. And everything is energy, right? So these numbers are energetic codes that carry frequency and light. So every day has an energy, but when we get repeated numbers, they are said to be master numbers, or numbers, frequencies of higher consciousness. So you may be born on an 8-8 day, or a 1-1 day, or an 11-11 day. But when we get these double numbers, they are said to hold symbolic frequencies that we can access, because everything's a choice. They're not dumping energy on us. We get to choose to co-create with the energy. And so if we think about the 8, if you just if you've got a journal there or a pen, I always invite people to tune in. What does that message mean for you? It holds an energetic code of transformation. And if we look at that symbol, you don't actually take the pen off the page. It's self-contained, and it creates flow, right, and harmony. And the loops, if we look at it as a mark-making image, it's an oracle of the infinity. symbol and the lamnaskake. And as above, so below, as without, so within. So the code, the higher frequency of this code or this energy is, where are you embodying the spiritual energy in the physical matter, in the 3D day to day? It's not one without the other. And that's a choice that we have, right? The lower frequency, because it's a spectrum, it's not all great and high. We're human beings, that the lower frequency of an 8 is in the ego and the control and manipulation, and willing and forcing, controlling things to be what we think they should be. And that's not how the universe operates. The universal laws we co-create, right? And we have a choice. So I would invite you all today to ask yourself, how am I embodying the spiritual light in my day-to-day life? Am I in flow? Am I in control or manipulation? Am I in fear or the ego? Am I in love and trusting in the support of the universal energy that's always there? And it really is an energy that holds life, death, and rebirth, total regeneration. So everything in life comes to an end. We know that. Death can be symbolic. It can be something in your life that has just come to an end, but it can be physical death, like we saw in Lahaina. And it's interesting to me that the fires did take place at this particular time. So who knows, right? It's an invitation for us all to be, I think, in check. Like, we are responsible for our own energy and light and how we show up and co-create. So for me, I'd like to think I'm always in check. Of course, I'm human and I get a bit pissy and frustrated like us all. But I, particularly on days that carry these master frequencies, I'm even more in gratitude and awareness of, okay, where am I today? And I know my dear soul teacher and friend Janet Connor taught me deep soul riding. I every morning do note where the day is. I always write the date and the 8/8, and that makes me aware, even more aware of, oh, okay, I have an opportunity today to carry the higher frequency of this light. So this year, 2024, as a collective energy, when we add the 2 and the 0 and the 2 and the 4, is also an 8. So we actually have a triple 8. Doesn't happen obviously every year. We get 8/8 every year, but we don't often get the triple 8. So we're adding an even deeper dimension of the 8. It's amplifying that energy and opportunity. So I would just ask yourself, you know, where am I? Yes, it's a manifesting number. And I don't want to poo-poo the collective and everything that's out there, but it's been glorified a little bit, like, oh, it's the key manifesting day. Well, how are you showing up? It depends where you are with your own energy, right? And your intention and integrity. So, and what does manifesting really mean? To me, it's co-creating with the highest vibration of love from our heart, right? Not willing and wanting for the lower frequencies, you know, the greed and the control, but where are we really co-creating? Through the vibration of love and being in flow. So that's just my take. You tune into what the 8/8 means for you. Oh, and then this time of year, if we talk about the Lion's Gate, I've been researching that, and you know, as a shamanic astrologer, I've studied for the last 8+ years deep with many teachers who I'm really grateful for, and a lot of them just say that is nothing to do with astrology. It's something that has been created because of the Leo season. Now, I don't know. I'm just going to put my hand up and go, I don't actually know. I mean, you can trace a Lion's Gate to biblical times, and there's many teachings, but how does it kind of co-create with the 8/8? I believe, and this is my take, that Leo season begins round about August the 22nd. I mean, sorry, July the 22nd to August the 22nd, 23rd. It varies a little each year. And it's based on the sun moving through the zodiac seasonal signs in Western astrology. Now, Leo as an archetype is the lion, right? So 8/8 always falls in the Leo season. And so I think there's that association. The gate, let's look at the gate. I mean, we can draw a gate in many ways. I tend to think of a gate myself as a portal of energy or light or a threshold. I mean, you can decide, you know, there's various interpretations of what a gate is. We could unlock it, we can choose to walk through it, we can stand at the threshold, but this opportunity of the Lion's Gate for me links to the Leo season in Western astrology of this time of year, and this 8/8 as an opportunity to access higher energy. Now, how does this link in with astrology? I hope you're with me because it can get a bit heady. It links way back to something called a fixed star called Sirius. And Sirius, there are many fixed stars. In fact, there's probably thousands in the solar system and in the Kuiper belt. And fixed star means they don't move. So Sirius is actually 26 times brighter. I think it's 25.47 something. Let's round it up and say it's 26 times brighter than our sun, the central star of our planet and galaxy. So think about that. It emanates light that is 26 times brighter, wider, greater than our sun. That is pretty intense. And the sun, without the sun, there would be no life. The sun holds light and vitality, and we need that, right? As well as the water. But the sun, everything really on our planet revolves around the sun. So our ancient ancestors, particularly around Syria and Egypt, watched and navigated their life by the sky, by the seasons, as did the Hawaiians and most indigenous cultures. We navigated and lived and planted in relationship to the sky, the stars, and the earth. And so they would look up, and every year around about the end of July, because their calendars were different, they would observe Sirius, this fixed star, rising. It's called a heliacal rising before the sun at sunrise. And they'd watch. They probably didn't know it was July, because that's something quite modern, but this time of year they would observe. And as soon as they saw Sirius, this fixed star, rising before the sun, they knew it was an opportunity of deep fertility and spiritual light that meant the Nile flooded, the earth became more fertile. It was planting season and kind of game on of growing these seeds and planting for nourishment and fertility and growth that we could say is manifesting the abundance. So every year, depending where you are, we cannot see this with our physical eyes, by the way. Some of you may have a telescope, but these fixed stars are way, way out there. But every year, this binary star, it's actually two stars. If we locate the constellation Canis Major, and I am not that adept in constellation work, right? Astronomy and astrology are slightly two different interpretations of the sky. I studied astrology, so I'm not an astronomer, but I have been told that you can see, if you can note this Canis Major, a constellation of the dog star, that Sirius aligns every year towards the end of July with the sun and our earth. And I mean, other people look for Orion's belt, but it's actually in this constellation, and we get an alignment. And that could also be interpreted as the gate, the lion's gate. It doesn't fall on 8/8. It actually begins towards the end of July, and it finishes anywhere around the middle of August. It moves because our Earth is always moving. It's on a wobble, the axis. So you can find out where it is in your part of the world. But I do want to note that if we look back to the new moon on July the 5th this year, this new moon was conjunct Sirius, and it's quite rare for a very powerful new moon to be activated with the star code Sirius. So I would just say this year is an unusual year, Lahela, that really these light codes from Sirius, we call it this fixed star, the spiritual sun, is streaming 26 times greater codes of consciousness through the sun and through the alignment. And it began on that new moon, and it's been building and building and building, and it will continue to grow until about August the 12th, roundabout. Don't quote me exactly on the day, because the sky isn't so linear, but just know that we're in this gateway of huge spiritual growth and light. And it's potent. You get to choose what you do with that. It can certainly up level our own energy and our auric field. And certainly, if we can meditate and be in prayer and mindful practice, and in communities that are like-minded, that are evolving for the highest good. Absolutely. So it's an opportunity, but this threshold, just to kind of decipher some of the terminology out there, it isn't really just today, although because we have the 888, we could say that spiritually there's an opportunity for all of us to intentionally see where our love and our light is, and how do we want to grow and activate that, because we have help from the celestial skies. Thanks to Sirius, thanks to our sun, and thanks to each of us showing up and being here, and thanks to you. So I hope that isn't too high horsey. I hope that's coming from humility and just saying, this is my taken from my teachers, and definitely it's a beautiful opportunity. So thank you.
I was so engrossed in what you were sharing that I even forgot to share your slides, sister. So
Oh, it's okay. It's
so here's the 888
and I would mark, mate.
Lionsgate portal.
Yeah, yeah.
And here's our Sirius. I'm just so engrossed in what you were saying. So meditation and
Yeah,
self-care and
absolutely. Mindfulness. If you take a walk
mindfulness.
outside, I mean, certainly if you've got the light, or even the moonlight, be mindful and intentional, and in gratitude, and thank these beautiful starlights for infusing the planet and each of us with the light. Yeah, and even the water. I mean, it's infused in the water. So, yeah.
Right. Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Emma. That was amazing. So I am so excited. So excited to introduce my next guest. Janet is an author. She's a prayer artist. She's a mystic witch and firekeeper, and a creator in the theater of the miraculous. The beautiful thing is, Emma introduced me to Janet maybe 6 years ago or so, and Janet invited me to collaborate with her, with you, Janet, on some online intensives that we did together on Ho'oponopono and forgiveness. And Janet has co-created so many other intensives. If you go to her website, you'll definitely see that she has many of them still available on demand. And she's created these intensives with amazing experts like Emma. And now Janet is co-creator of the Art of Becoming a Witch series. on how to awaken, remember, and trust your body's natural intuitive senses. And so, Janet, I know I'm not giving everyone the full picture here of these experiences that we've been through together. But what I can say is that having been involved in these intensives with you over the past 6 years, these intensives have been intense and in a deeply, profoundly way. So deeply profound way. So I'm going to let you take it from here.
And I bow first in gratitude to Kahu Lāhela, because when Prayer Artist arrived in February of 2018, I knew that everything would change, and I knew that I was being called to create prayer intensives. But I didn't know what to do, so I contacted Lāhela, and we did 6 prayer intensives over a 2-year period on Ho'oponopono. So I have some slides if you want to let go of that, Lāhela, so that I can show mine. I begin first by putting on my Goddess of Fire prayer stole. And the Lahaina fires have a lot to do with this. It took me a while, but I embraced prayer artist. I've now been a prayer artist for 6 years. And then Mystic Witch came in 2020, and I have spent 4 years absolutely in love with and serving the original meaning of witch. And I thought that was quite enough for a lifetime. But shortly after the Lahaina fires, through repeated tarot readings, one card showed over and over and over the Goddess of Fire. I said, okay, all right, I have no idea what it means, but Firekeeper. And Samantha Wild, this mystic weaver in Massachusetts, made the Goddess of Fire prayer stole for me, and we are about to pray, and so I must put on my Goddess of Fire prayer stole. Let us begin. The earth, Mother Gaia, is our mother. The land under our feet is sacred. All our ancestors are buried in Mother Gaia. Over 100,000 years of human ancestors, millions of years of plant ancestors, fungi ancestors, countless ancestors of the land, the waters, and the air. Our entire earth is a tomb. And that also means our entire earth is a womb. All life ends and is returned to her tomb. And all life begins and springs from her womb. Plant life bursts forth. Animals are reborn. Fish return to spawn. Birds lay generation after generation of eggs. And humans, we humans, are birthed from our mother's bodies, our mother's wombs. The sacred truth is everything that lives dies. And everything that dies is reborn. Life returns. Turning and returning, turning and returning, we are born and reborn into love. Our ancestors knew this. Ancestors in Africa, the Americas, Australia, Hawaii, Asia, Europe, everyone, everywhere, and every when honored this eternal spiral of life. They honored it by recognizing and consecrating special places where they could feel the life force turning and returning. Oh, I meant to make that big. Sorry, let me do that right now. In Hawaii, some of these sacred places are called heiaus. Emma Kupu Mitchell, my partner in creating sacred anointing practices for all my prayer intensives, goes to this heiau on Oahu to listen to the wisdom of the plants, the wind, the stones, and to hear the clear voice of Mary Magdalene and Madame Pelé as they dictate the formula for every special anointing oil Emma makes. But these sacred places are everywhere. Our ancestors marked them with circles and spirals to say, look, look, this is sacred ground. One of the earliest symbols of this spiral of life, death, and rebirth is the 7-circuit labyrinth. On the bottom left, you can see the first one we humans have found thus far in Galicia, Spain, from about 2000 BCE. Above it, in Cornwall, in the Rocky Valley, is a very mysterious pair of labyrinths. It's a mystery. Some people swear that they are from 500 BCE, and others are absolutely convinced that they were carved in the 18th century. In the upper middle is the labyrinth that we are going to spend time with. It's in Sardinia. In the upper right is a labyrinth made the day before yesterday by a kid with chalk on a driveway in North Carolina. And below that, what a wild, fun, creative, this is so up Emma's creative spiritual work. What a fun labyrinth. And in the center bottom is a labyrinth carved on a beach in South Africa. In January of 2023, last January, Emma Lāhela, Cathy Pratt, and 2 psychic mediums and I decided to create a very fun intensive to awaken our body's natural intuitive senses. Cathy helped us to see what our eyes do not see. Emma to hear beyond what our ears hear. Kahu Lāhela helped us feel what our bodies do not feel. About halfway through that intensive, I began to realize, wait a minute, we have many more natural witch art gifts beyond intuition. In fact, there are 7 gifts that identified a mystic witch for tens of thousands of years as a leader and healer in her community. Did you know witch was once, before religion, the holiest, most beautiful thing you could call a woman? A witch's 7 sacramental witch art gifts were and are and always will be full body intuition, the ability to crisscross the threshold between worlds, original prayer long before any religion, Muraphor anointing, divination, devotion, and dragon. At exactly the same time that I was becoming aware of these 7 sacramental witch art gifts, I became a little obsessed with the ancient 7-circuit labyrinth, because guess what? It has 7 paths, 1 for each gift, and the gifts and the paths match the energy of the chakras. The pieces all fell together in mid-April when my co-creator, Cathy Pratt, had a dream. She said that she was in a tomb with a labyrinth carved on the wall. And she said that the dream guides told her she was in Sardinia. Sardinia? I Googled those 3 words: labyrinth, Sardinia, tomb, and this image came up immediately. I showed it to Cathy and she said, that's my labyrinth. That's where I was. We had no idea in mid-April of last year that this labyrinth would not only teach us everything we needed to know about the witch sequence and the 7 gifts and the labyrinth, but this labyrinth, this tomb, would turn out to serve the dead of Lahaina. On August 9th, the day after the Lahaina fire, the members of the second Witch Art Intensive gathered for our first class. That afternoon, I wondered, what could we possibly do? We have to say something about the fire, about the dead. We have to honor the suffering of the members of our intensive, including Emma, Sharon, Lahela, Geraldine. And I truly did not know what we could do, but I knew we needed to do something. And so as I made the slides, I knew Cathy and I agreed that we would be making a labyrinth. We make a labyrinth in every single live gathering, starting with this seed pattern, the seed pattern that has been used by our human ancestors for tens of thousands of years. And we made these slides walking very quickly through how to make a paper labyrinth until it is complete. I took one look at this completed labyrinth and at this tomb. I took one look at this image and I knew and I knew that I knew what happened at the tomb of Yeshua. I knew what Mary Magdalene did, and I suddenly understood how Muriphors, how mystic witches have served the mysteries of life, death, and rebirth for eons. We made our finger labyrinth gently, lovingly, and we walked our labyrinths with our finger for the dead of Lahaina. Very prayerfully, we accompanied them to the center, where we visualized a well, a holy well, an entrance to the umbilical cord of the tomb and womb of Mother Gaia. We visualized our beloved dead of Lahaina being greeted, welcomed by countless Hawaiian ancestors as they stepped into this well and descended into their mother's womb. It was such a profound experience that Cathy and I realized we need to create a prayer practice for all our beloved dead. We call the practice "The Labyrinth Carries Us Home." We've now held it 3 times, including once for Emma's mother-in-law, Haruko, in honor of this most sacred 8/8 anniversary of the fires of Lahaina. If you'd like to join me, let us ask the labyrinth to welcome those who died 1 year ago in the fires of Lahaina home. You do not have to make a labyrinth. You can simply follow my voice as we follow these colored paths, 7 paths, one by one, with your eyes. Listen to the words of the prayer and visualize the dead, releasing everything they wish to leave behind so they can enter the womb of the mother. Visualize yourself at the entrance, the point in the lower left of this image, the entrance, the threshold to the labyrinth. Visualize the dead. They've been waiting for this prayer. Visualize the over 100 dead of Lahaina also gathering at this entrance. And visualize the ancestors, tens of thousands of years of ancestors, dancing, singing Oli to welcome and accompany the Lahaina dead home. With your eyes, begin to witness the dead walking this red path up and around and listen as they say, I let my body go. Loving my body, hating my body, the pleasures, the suffering, the pain, the ecstasy and agony of living in this body. I release my body. It is finished, and I am free. And with your eyes, come to the bottom, the end of the red, and watch as they make a 180-degree turn, stepping onto the orange path. And listen as they say, I release everything familiar. Places, people, all that I planned, all that I experienced, all that felt comfortable. I release all that was familiar. It is finished, and I am free. Follow them as they complete that orange path all the way to the bottom left, where once again they make a 180-degree turn and step onto the yellow path. And listen as they say, I release my successes, my joys, accomplishments, achievements, accolades, reputation, degrees, titles, financial success, loving relationships, delightful encounters, delicious fun. I release all my successes and joys. It is finished, and I am free. And follow as they step onto the green path, where they say, I release my failures, my sorrows, my losses, my disappointments, addictions, depressions, all the lies told about me, lies I told about others, lies I told myself about myself. I release experiences of being misunderstood, rejected, unloved, abused, abandoned, unseen, unheard. I release all my failures and sorrows. It is finished, and I am free. And with your eyes, witness as they step onto the blue path, where they say, I release anger. I release resentment, jealousy, competition, fighting, losing. I release all my anger. It is finished. It is finished, and I am free. And they step onto the dark blue path, where they say, I release all my beliefs. I release my beliefs about God, religion, expectations of the afterlife, worries about being judged, wanting things to be different from the way they are. I release all my beliefs. It is finished, and I am free. And they step onto the final path, the purple path of forgiveness. And listen as they, with one voice, say, I forgive. I forgive myself. I forgive others. I forgive all of whom I did not forgive in this lifetime and all who did not forgive me. I now forgive. I forgive myself. I forgive everyone. It is finished. All cords are cut. All burdens are lifted, and I am free. They arrive now at the center, that white open space at the heart, the beating heart of the labyrinth. And they say, I'm empty. I am now empty, and I have arrived. I have arrived at the holy well. There is just one thing, one precious thing I wish to remember and carry into my next life, my sacred, beautiful blue pearl. We do not know what pearl they carry. That is not for us to know. Their souls know what they wish, the one thing they wish to carry into the womb of the mother, to return in their next life. Holding this treasure, our beloved dead, the over 100 who lost their lives in Lahaina. They take a breath, holding their blue pearl, and step into the holy well. We watch them. We watch the mother gathering each one into her arms. She holds them in her womb, her heart, her holy home. She welcomes each one, whispering, "You have been loved. You have been loved. You have always been loved. Welcome home."
Thank you, Janet.
We are left on the labyrinth. And so with your eyes gently walk back out. We have witnessed them be embraced by their mother. But we arrive back at the entrance, back at the threshold, back in our lives. But we too must whisper to them, to one another, and to ourselves, "You are loved. You are loved. You have always been loved," because love never dies. Let us drink our holy water, taking in the prayer in honor of our beloved dead in Lahaina, who are now at home. Say to yourself, say to them, "You have been loved. You have been loved. You have always been loved."
Whew. Beautiful. I felt so powerful, Janet. Thank you. And this is what these intensives are like. They're profoundly beautiful. And so I know that you've just begun the Art 4 series, right? The Mirror 4 anointing. Perhaps, and I think Emma's also sharing the anointing, the work that she does with Mary Magdalene. Emma, do you mind sharing a little bit about?
Yeah, I'm happy to. I mean, I'm sure we're all taken deep in the labyrinth, and thank you, Janet. I know. Yeah, profound experiences. It's just challenging to describe what these intensives hold because they are a unique experience for everybody. But Janet, yeah, thank you. We are just, I'm saying we, because I'm blessed to be a small part of this Art 4, this, which is all actually, if you think on the labyrinth, the green path, which is the heart, the anahata. And I've been blessed to kind of co-create beautiful plant medicine and sacred oils for Janet's prayer intensives for, I think 8+ years, Janet, lose track. I mean, I've been a clinical aromatherapist for about 36 years. I'm aging myself, and studied many different traditions. And so this particular intensive is the Mirafor lineage, and Mirafor is really dates way back to a time where maybe witches or priestesses or each of us, I believe, have the intention of healing with following stars, following Earth's medicine. you know, all the oils and herbs and plants. And so I'm co-teaching with Cathy Pratt and Janet. This next intensive is about how all of us can open up our hearts, our Cariad heart, which is really healing through a relationship with the oils. So plant medicine and the sacred oils that this Mirafor lineage carried, and I believe is being awakened. I think we're all remembering, and each of you have that gift. It might not be with plant medicine, but it certainly is a gift in other ways. So we begin Sunday. The first teaching gathering is Sunday, and I think Lāhela, you'll send a link. There's still time to sign up. I mean, we welcome everyone. You don't have to have done the other art sequences at all. You know, if you haven't, just we'd welcome you. If you're feeling called to deepen your own healing so that you can then show up and be of greater service. And if you have an interest in obviously the oils and plant medicine and the labyrinth, and Cathy takes us on deep mystical journeys. It's beautiful self-care, Lāhela. Yeah. It's a little taste.
Beautiful. Yep. Perfect. Yeah. So I'm going to bring us back here. So you can go to janetconnor.com, and on her homepage, you'll see at the very top, she has it listed as under intensives. And when you click on that, you'll be able to see Art 4 and learn more about it. Yeah. So thank you, Janet. That was amazing. And chicken skin, as we say. So beautiful. So now we are going to place the names of our loved ones in the blessing bowl of light. But first, it's time to drink. Take a nice sip of our blessed water. Okay. So here is our blessing bowl of light. And before we speak the names of our loved ones, I invite you to join me in reciting this Ho'oponopono pule, or prayer, and to cleanse ourselves and our loved ones. And after the prayer, we will take a few minutes to say the names of our loved ones and place them into the bowl of light. And I'm going to begin by saying, Divine Spirit, we place the names of our loved ones, family members, our friends, our pets, and anyone experiencing hardship or loss into the bowl of light. And so here is our Ho'oponopono prayer. And if you feel like joining me, let's recite this together. I, Arna Lāhela Johnson, wish to do Ho'oponopono for myself, my loved ones, and everyone whose name is placed in this blessing bowl of light. I wish to cut and release any cords or connections of disharmony, imbalance, and unwanted memories from the beginning of creation until the present moment. I ask that these cords or connections be cut, severed, cleansed, purified, and transmuted to the pathway of light. I ask that we be cleansed, purified, and transmuted in the pathway of light. With much love and gratitude, Amamau Anoa, it is given, it is free. Amen. So now take a moment. I'm going to mute myself, but take a moment to speak the names of your loved ones or anyone or any situation in need of prayer. And I'll give us maybe 2 or 3 minutes. So now that the names of our loved ones have been placed in the bowl of light, if you care to join me, let's send our love and healing energy to this blessing bowl. So what you'll do is charge up your hands with your breath, using your your breath. And you want to breathe from your heart. You want to inhale and pull your hands apart and just feel that mana in between the palms of your hands. Just feel that mana there. You inhale and draw your hands outward, and exhale, draw your hands closer together. This is to harness that mana. Inhale and exhale. And again, inhale and exhale. Now let's go ahead and place the palms of our hands toward the blessing bowl of light. From our heart, we're sending our love. We're sending blessings. And just visualize this beautiful golden white light blessing each and every person, each and every situation, each and every beloved pet. Blessing every challenge, blessing everyone affected by devastation around the world. Visualize everyone receiving just the right amount of healing frequency. Not too much, not too little, but just the right amount of healing for themselves. And those experiencing hardship or loss, let's visualize them receiving the right kind of support that helps them to restore their lives, restore their hope and faith, and helps them to feel loved. And inhale and exhale. Just feel the mana in your hands, blessing all of our loved ones. Beautiful. Ooh, that felt good. Mahalo, mahalo, mahalo for joining me in that. So next month, please save the date for, we won't have one at the end of August. We're going to hold our next one on September 28th. I hope you can join us. Keep this Zoom link because we always use the same Zoom link. And share this with your friends and your family members to join us. Some people have asked, do you have a donation link? And this organization, Help Maui Rise, is the only direct to Ohana, direct to family initiative. And they are distributing all the donations equally amongst the 1,600 plus families who lost their homes. And so the website is helpmauirise.org/donate. And for those of you who have donated in the past, thank you so much. It's an ongoing effort, and we never want to lose sight and forget about our Ohana in Lahaina. And I like to finish with this quote: where there is hope, there is faith. Where there is faith, miracles happen. And that's all because of you, all of you, all the love that has been shared through these prayer circles. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next month. Aloha and ahui ho for now.